Lily and Rachel were slowly walking through the mall doing some window shopping. They hadn't noticed yet, but there were two men walking near them. They were Doug Butler, the man whose name Kevin had mocked at the campsite, and Doug's friend Mason.
"Would you like to have dinner with me this evening?"
"I'm really sorry, Doug, but we have other plans. You're on your own for dinner."
"Hang on, Lily. Don't be too hasty. I think fate must have brought us all together, and I'd like to ask Rachel to have dinner with me. Let's all go out together. How could you resist an offer like that? Let me get straight to the point, Lily. I really like you and I want you to be my girlfriend." Then he touched some icons on his phone screen. Moments later, all the lights on Halstead Street started to dim and the TV screens all over the mall lit up with the name Lily. "I hope you like it, Lily. It was the only way I could think of to tell you how I feel about you." But as Lily looked around at all of the screens, a familiar face caught her eye. She hurried over to Kevin and asked him, "What took you so long, sweetie?" "There were a ton of people at the entrance. It took me forever to squeeze through the crowd." "Hey, aren't you Dog Butler? I remember you. Maybe I shouldn't have fished you out of the water back at the campground. Then you wouldn't be here right now spoiling Lily's afternoon. There's one more thing. If you're trying to win my wife's affection, you'll have to try harder than this. What the hell were you thinking?" Kevin muttered as he pulled out his phone and tapped on Tyler's number. Less than 10 seconds later, the entire mall went dark and all of the screens went black. Everyone looked up and saw thousands and thousands of rose petals falling from the sky like raindrops. Then the enormous dot matrix sign on the blimp spelled out, "Lily and Kevin forever." Kevin took Lily by the hand and said, "You've been through a lot over the past few years. You've had to put up with everyone trash-talking me, and you've put up with all the ridicule. Let's put all that behind us now and think about our future. I love you, Lily. Will you marry me? Again?" Suddenly, a huge commotion interrupted this touching scene and everyone started to panic. Kevin looked over and saw a huge group of men dressed in white holding out large knives as they ran through the crowd. There was a large middle-aged man leading them and he looked like he was ready to kill someone. It was Craig Hill, Nolan Hill's father. "Lily, you and Rachel should get out of here right now." "Kevin!" "Lily, let's go. If Kevin is running at them, he must know what he's doing. We'll only slow him down if we stay here." "It looks like you're here to avenge Nolan?" "You've ruined my son's life. Now I'm going to take your life to even up the score."
Kevin pulled the night dagger out of his jacket to defend himself against the overwhelming numbers. Although he was more powerful than any of Hill's men, he lacked combat experience. In less than 10 minutes, Kevin felt exhausted.
"He's running out of strength. All of you, kill him now."
Just then, Kevin felt an agonizing pain in his back. One of the men had snuck up behind him and stabbed him. "Kevin!" Lily screamed in horror. When Kevin heard Lily shout, he was distracted and turned to look at her. Hill seized the opportunity and raised his knife to finish him off. Kevin's eyes grew wide as he saw Lily pull him back and use her body to block the knife for him. "Lily!" Kevin's eyes were burning, and his night dagger was trembling in his hand.
500,000 to whoever kills him."
A second later, a dozen of Hill's men rushed at Kevin, all at the same time. Kevin moved through them like a blur, slashing all of them in what seemed to be a single lightning-fast movement. Hill tried to advance on Kevin but collapsed to the pavement as if he didn't have any strength left. Randall Williams and Renee Silver, the union's director, drank to each other's health as they all sat down to have a formal banquet.
"Our family has always had a wonderful relationship with the more benevolent organizations like the Union. We're honored to see so many of you with us today, and you should know that you're always welcome in our home. There's no need to stay with anyone else when you're in our city."
I couldn't agree with you more. We're really all one big family, and we have a responsibility to all our members, no matter which organization they belong to. It's in our interest to protect each other from the 3 evil groups that still threaten all of us. When they heard her say this, Randall Williams and his family got very uncomfortable and tried not to let it show. After all, the Williams family had just joined one of the evil organizations that Renee Silver was talking about. Do you happen to know someone named Kevin Williams?
Yes, I do. Why do you ask?
I've recently spoke with a young woman in Chicago. She told me that she saw a young man named Kevin Williams who was in possession of a power pill. So I'm wondering if he's related to any of you. When the Williamses heard that, they burst out laughing. Kevin actually got his hands on a power pill? How could a loser like him have managed that?
Since you just arrived here, there are some things you may not be aware of. First of all, yes, Kevin is indeed related to the Williams family, but he's no longer one of us. He's become something savage, something.
Kevin was at Downtown General. He was pacing anxiously in the waiting area outside the operating room. Lily had been in there for hours. How's my wife? Lily had already woken up from the anesthesia and was staring at him with her big eyes. How do you feel, honey? It hurts. That knife was meant for me. You shouldn't even be here. Because I'm your wife. How could I stand there and do nothing? Just then, the door opened and Dorothy walked in with some of her friends.
Lily, how are you?
Don't worry, Mom. I'm fine. Mom, I'm sorry. It's all my fault that I didn't.
As soon as Lily can get out of bed, I want the two of you to get a divorce.
Mom, please calm down. It's not Kevin's fault at all. I'm just going to step out and find out what meds Lily needs. He decided it would be a good idea to leave the room for a few minutes. Mom, were you out playing cards again?
Don't be silly, Lily.
Dorothy, so what if we were playing cards? Are you trying to get out of your debt? She owes me almost $250,000 and she owes my friends here another $400,000. So hurry up and give us our money. We need to head home and get some rest.
Just give me a few days.
I'll give you two choices. Either you pay me back immediately, or I'll call someone who will make you do it. Jasmine waited for the call to connect and put it on the speakerphone. Spencer, are you there? It's Aunt Jasmine. I'm at Downtown General. Someone owes me a ton of money and she's refusing to pay me back. I'll be down there right away. Jasmine hung up. She knew that her nephew was one of the most powerful men in Chicago. Dorothy and Lily were speechless. A little while later, there was a flurry of footsteps in the hall and the door flew open violently.
Who the hell owes my aunt all that money?
The group's leader was none other than Spencer, the man Kevin had asked to be his deputy in the Chicago branch of the Myriads. His brother Derek would have been there too, but he had other business to attend to. She's the one who owes me and my friends over $600,000.
I didn't say I wouldn't pay her, I just don't have the money right now.
Kevin walked into the room and the Myriads were stunned to see him.
This man is my son-in-law. Just ask him for the money.
Your son-in-law? Enforcer? Honey, what's going on? They came to ask for money. Then she told Kevin what had happened between her mother and the women who were in the room. I'll cover her debt.
Please, Enforcer. I couldn't possibly take anything from you.
What's wrong with you, Spencer?
My aunt doesn't know who you are. Please accept my apologies.
Jasmine realized she was getting nowhere. She and her friends quickly walked out of the room. Come along with me. I've got something I want you to do for me. Kevin walked out of the room and the rest of the men quickly followed behind him. I want you to find out everything you can about the Hill family for me. I want Craig Hill to suffer for what he's done. Have everyone meet me at the Whistler Hotel tonight at 7 o'clock. I've got something important to announce.
Yes, sir.
Spencer took his men and quickly headed downstairs. Next, Kevin called Mitchell Cook to ask him to clear out the hotel for the evening. Kevin sat at the head of a long table, and dozens of representatives from the other branches sat along the sides.
Enforcer, we finished our investigation. The most important ones are Craig Hill's 5 adopted children. They're quite advanced in their training and they've obviously benefited from herbal medications. Their compound is heavily guarded. They're expanding their operations to Chicago. So what's your plan? From what we've found out, Craig Hill's 5 adopted children all have different hobbies and interests. We can use that to set up a trap for them.
All right. Then I'll leave the details up to you." The next morning, Kevin washed up quickly and drove straight to campus. "Hello, everyone. I'm Professor Wendy Colt, your medicinal herb instructor. I'm in charge of teaching all of you how to concoct pills and make herbal medicine." A few minutes later, they arrived at the science building and headed into the pill room. "Today, I'm going to show you how to make the healing pill. Its main purpose is to treat all kinds of external injuries. Under normal circumstances, it only takes 2 hours to take effect and heal your injuries." She used the equipment on the table to measure and prepare the ingredients in the bowl. Then she lit a Bunsen burner on the table. "Dalton, you and Penny should leave the room right now."
"What's wrong?"
"Professor Colt must be distracted by talking too much while she's working. She just missed an important step and the bowl is going to explode in less than 5 minutes."
Hi, Kevin here. If you're wondering what happens next, then stay tuned on the Pocket FM Universe channel for more episodes.